One thing I like particularly about having digital TV and movie collections these days is automation and great metadata make everything so easy as an end user. Comic book collecting is a reminder of where we were a few years ago in that sense, with some more complications and peculiarities that have to be navigated. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people doing great work to try and make things as easy as possible, and we'd have nothing without them. However, I find I need some manual intervention in certain areas and have a set system in place to make sure my library is coherent. I'll be talking about some of these in a future video. Naturally, workflows differ between people, so if you're using different tools, have different ideas of organisation, or just think I'm insane, feel free to drop that in the comments. In this video, I thought we'd go over some of the tools available, as well as my personal choices, and a quick look at how everything fits together. The first tool in the chain is called Mylar 3, which is the equivalent of Sonar or Radar for automation. As of this video, Mylar has been around for around 6 years now, so it's undergone a lot of changes and additions. The current major release is from the middle of last year, so I'm currently running a nightly version just to stay on top of changes. The aim is to add the comics we either have, or have an interest in, to Mylar, which is easily done from the search bar at the top, which then brings a list of the matching hits, often with different editions that need to be carefully chosen to match what we have. Once you've added a series to the collection, you can drop the files you've purchased in, which I've done in the background here, and has now imported. I then tell it to collect clean metadata from ComicVine, which is done with this button at the top to ensure the entire series is done in one go. This is then written directly to the file system, ready for when we use our library software a little later. If you've purchased a physical copy, you can get a backup digitally with just one click from the built-in sources. Mylar also has two really neat features that allow for some great automation. The first is This Week, which basically acts like a pull list and lets you see everything new that's going to be hitting the presses each week, so you can decide if you want to add to your collection in advance. The other is the Story Arcs, that allow you to track some huge stories that bounce between various books. In one click you can add something huge like Crisis on Infinite Earths, for example, in order to ensure you have every issue necessary. Mylar is a great tool for spotting gaps and letting you fill them in easily. As an alternative, there's a newer tool called Komga, which is also worth looking into, which has an interface and name clearly inspired by the R-Stack that a lot of us already use. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it and seeing what features get brought into the fray as it matures. It's also great to see a different approach come into play, but for now, Mylar is my tool of choice. Next up is ComicTagger. There's a version of this built into Mylar which is used to collect the metadata automatically, but you can't always see what it's doing. So for some things, I find doing it myself by hand and ensuring the data coming in is accurate. Here, I've added a stack of issues to the interface, and I'll let it do an auto tag on these. It uses the cover art embedded in the file to compare to the online database to ensure it has the correct issue before bringing in the data. It features a variety of ways to bring in metadata, including a more manual search function based on the series name to pinpoint the exact issue we want if the automated tools fail. ComicTagger brings in a bunch of information from ComicVine, including descriptions of the issue and everyone involved in it, as well as the import issue and volume tagging. It has the ability to set scanner, front cover, back covers, etc. in the metadata too, but alas, my library manager of choice doesn't read this currently. We can also choose to rename the files if necessary, which can be nicer for organisation if you like a neat file system. The last piece of software on the serving side is Komga, which I use in my actual library a la Plex for movies and TV. Komga supports OPDS, which is how I can connect using panels on my iPad to sync or stream things locally. I also use it for magazines and in theory ebooks too, but I prefer using a Calibra-based system for that. Komga will take in the series we've worked on previously and bring in all the metadata with it. It doesn't procure this by itself, so relies on this being in place, or it'll rely on using file names for issue numbers and lack things like descriptions and artists. We can browse books as a whole, or issues, and make collections for multi-volumes or related entities. Like Plex, we can read it in the browser if desired, although personally I use this just to test things. It's a pretty straightforward system that doesn't rely on much intervention once the books are in its system. Booklaw has picked up a lot of chatter recently. Another multi-format library manager, it has a focus on ebooks primarily, but supports comics as well. If you're interested in something that can handle all these media types, and you prefer to have them under one roof, this definitely looks a great option. Cavita is a general reading library manager with a focus on manga and offers a low-cost paid subscription that unlocks a bunch of extra features. It has some flexibility with its comic login, as it supports mixing up editions, which is definitely an interesting proposition, and I'm definitely curious about its way of collating volumes within a single entry. It's definitely a piece of software I intend on digging deeper into. Your choice of client is definitely going to depend on what hardware you're utilising and whether you want to pay for it, but I can't say I've been anything other than satisfied with renewing my license for Panels, as it covers comics and magazine reading really well. It doesn't bring in the rich metadata we've worked so hard on in the most obvious ways, which is a shame, but it's there if you look for it. Using OPDS, I can connect it directly to Komga and either read directly from my library or download the volumes I'm reading for offline use. I love reading using the continuous flow. It feels like the right way to do things on a modern device rather than page by page in a physical book. Unfortunately, I'm not an Android user, so I'm not au fait with the various options on that platform. Feel free to hype up your fave in the comments though, so others can check them out. Hopefully this covers my rough workflow and the tools I use. A lot of the time things are pretty straightforward and just rely on clicks, but there can definitely be complications when adding some archives that I'll be discussing in a future video. That one might divide people on whether they like the way I do it. We'll find out then.